In this video, I'm going to show you how I use the Page Speed Insights tool from Google, and I'll have the link to this tool in the resource of this video to increase my site speed score quite a bit. And this is the before. This is what happened this morning. I had a score of 32, and it told me what the problem was. The main problem was with unused CSS. This is CSS in two files that it showed. One file is CSS style CSS. Basically, it's in my website, but one was from YouTube. It's a YouTube video that I was embedding on my site, and it was making some CSS calls on YouTube, like not even on my site, and slowing down. And that file had some unused CSS. To find the unused CSS on my website, I used a tool called jitbit.com. I'll have the link to this tool in the resources of this video. But basically, I entered my website into it, and it crawled some pages, and it found all of these CSS rules. These are all CSS rules in my style.css that is never actually referenced in my HTML. So it's wasting space, right? Like as the page is rendering, it has to process all of these, but it's actually never used. And it's slowing down my page load speed, as you saw. So what I did, I literally went in and, for example, like here's this glyphcon, which is kind of like a font thing, whatever. It's not something I put in there. It's something that either if you have WordPress, like your WordPress template might have that just to have it, or if you have a designer, they might just paste some ton of CSS just to have it. But it's basically kind of sloppy CSS, just pasting a bunch of it, right? And you might end up with it and you might not even know that you have it. And basically what I did is like, oh, this tool told me I referenced this, I have code for it, I never use it. So then I went into my CSS and I removed it. Now be very careful. If you're not technical, you need somebody technical, because you can break your CSS and break your design and your website will be ugly, and then it'll be actually pretty hard to debug and find. So this is for people who are intermediate with CSS and JavaScript. If you are not, you would hire somebody on a freelancing site to do this for you. Basically, you would tell them, hey, here's the problem. I've got all this unused CSS. Can you please remove it? And they would do it for you. And again, you got to test, because they might test one or two pages, but some other page might be broken because some other page might be referencing this. This tool has a problem that it didn't actually look through all my pages. It only looked through some of my pages, and I don't know why it only crawled some. But since most of my pages are pretty similar, I'm assuming that the rest of the pages aren't using that CSS. In any case, be very careful and test, and make sure that you have your previous CSS backed up in case you do find a problem, so you can go back to the original and you don't have to be stuck for days with the CSS problem. But at the end of the day, what you would do is go through your CSS and find all of these rules in your CSS and see, do I need them? If I don't need them, you remove it. If some of them, if you're not sure about them, leave it. But some of them will be very apparent. Like if you're not using some of them, like for example, checkbox. I know I don't have any checkboxes in my HTML. Like I just don't use that in my site. So I'm pretty freely going to remove radio boxes, checklists, things like this. I also, don't have search in that particular site. So, okay, this is just basically somebody pasted in there, but I don't really need it. And also, H6 font. I know I'm not using H6 font. I know I only use up to H3, even that, maybe not even that. So some things are apparent. That's for removing CSS on your site. And I'll show you in a second the results from it. Now, the harder thing is to fix that YouTube problem. To fix the YouTube problem, I actually had to remove that YouTube video itself. Now, we know that Google actually likes rich media like videos on our website and our pages. So it's a controversial thing, right? It ranks us higher if we have videos, but videos slow down our sites. Hence, Google ranks it lower. What to do? It's contradictory. The answer to that is, if the videos are absolutely necessary, leave them, because the hit to your site load speed is not that great. But if the videos aren't amazing, don't leave them. Take them out. Also, you can hire developers to help you optimize your code and have workarounds to have your videos load faster. But this is, even though I'm technical, this was quite a bit outside of my ability because I Googled around, I tried to apply some JavaScript fixes, they didn't work. So basically I'm stuck either spending a lot of time on it, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to hire a developer who's going to attempt to fix this. So pretty much I'm going to spend $50 or $100 or $150 to solve this problem, or at least attempt to solve this problem, and I'll see what they do. In the future, I'm not hiring them immediately, but in the future, that's my plan. And I'll see what they do. If they solve it, great. Then my site will load faster and have videos. If not, then you have to make that decision. A video might slow down your load speed. Which one is more important for you? And that's a case-by-case basis. In my case, I actually ended up removing the videos for now, and I'll show you the result. You see in the beginning of the video, my score was in the 30s. Now it's essentially almost 80. And by the way, this score changes depending on your server speed, which changes minute to minute depending on the load. So it can vary like 10 to 20 points, but on average, it's pretty accurate. But from moment to moment, it varies, but not much. But it does tell us that this is no longer a problem. I took out the problematic unused CSS on my site. I took out the YouTube videos from my homepage. This is just for the homepage test. And you see, they no longer say this is an issue on my site. And that was slowing everything else down. And so in a very little amount of time, I raised my site load speed quite a bit. And you can easily do something very similar.